Now, wherever the results lead, the despair has been palpable at the site where grieving family members of the capsized ferry's passengers have been gathering. For some, the sadness is mixed with anger and desperation abounds. And not only that, the focus has been on searching and rescuing the survivors of that ship. However, the survivors from that ferry capsize has also been suffering from mental disorders or discomfort, and we are worried about that as well. Now, for a deeper analysis, we are joined live on the line by Dr. Tan Hyung-kyung. She is a medical doctor at Samsung Medical Center. Dr. Tan, thank you for joining us.
Hello, thank you for having me.
All right, let's talk about the health of the survivors. We had a tragic news the other day, yesterday, that the vice principal of the high school hung himself to death. Not only that, a lot of the survivors we hear are suffering from what's called PTSD. What is the situation and what can be done?
Well, the early symptoms of post-traumatic stress disorder can be grouped into three categories. The patients may first relive or re-experience a traumatic event, and this can be in the form of bad dreams or intrusive thoughts. Secondly, they can have changes in their emotional reactions, including increased arousal, also trouble sleeping, irritability, feeling emotionally numb, or having overwhelming guilt or shame. And the third group of symptoms is avoidance. The person may avoid people, places, objects, or events that remind him of the traumatic situation. There can be physical symptoms as well, such as chest pain, heart rate can be increased, there can be nausea or dizziness. It's important that these symptoms are recognized by the friends and family around the victims and the survivors. Also, they should be offered psychological counseling and treatment as well. If it's not addressed, PTS, so post-traumatic stress, can lead to post-traumatic stress disorder, which is diagnosed after 1 month of debilitating symptoms. And this can become very serious if it's accompanied by severe depression or thoughts of suicide.
Right. So I think what you're saying is that post-traumatic stress is actually is a normal process that a human being goes through if one were to go through such a traumatic experience. But if that were to extend for more than a month, that could be diagnosed as a syndrome or disorder. Am I correct?
Exactly. So it needs to be present for more than a month, and it has to be debilitating, such as the patient is no longer able to carry out their normal function.
Right. Let's also talk about the families. The focus has largely been on finding the survivors. However, these family members of the hundreds of those missing have been camping out at this auditorium down in Chindo, and their physical as well as mental health or psychological health has been come into question. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, they must be going through a horrific time, and my heart goes out to them. There is a series of predictable behaviors, though, in people who are going through the grieving process. At first, there will be disbelief and perhaps an inability to accept this horrific reality. I think we just heard about the DNA testing, and one of the mothers, she just did not want to accept the possibility that her child has perhaps passed away. Then there may be anger, depression, and finally, after some time, there can be acceptance. What needs to be done, obviously, is friends, family, coworkers, people in their faith network. They all need to be supportive and help the families deal with this devastating loss. If the stress is too much, then the family should receive counseling themselves. There are treatments available. It's also important that they are offered an opportunity to express their emotions, not keep it in. Maybe join a support group or meet a counselor on a one-on-one basis.
All right. Well, definitely we need to grieve together as a nation with them and give them all the support that we can give to these victims, the families and the survivors of this tragic incident. Dr. Tan Hyung-kyung, medical doctor at Samsung Medical Center, thank you so much for your insights today.